I thought producing cacao husk tea was going to be easy, that you just simply take the husks, chuck it in some hot water, and presto, you get beautiful tasting cacao husk tea. That was pretty far from the truth. It turns out making good cacao husk tea is as nuanced as making bean-to-bar chocolate. My name's Ryan. I'm owner of Trufflus. I'm an artisan chocolatier based in Medway. A while back, I'd already decided that I wanted to get into bean-to-bar chocolate making a bit more. I'd already purchased some of the pieces of equipment. The missing piece was the winnower. I was approached by Flora from Growing Green, and they mentioned there's a potential to obtain a sustainability grant. It wasn't just, we're going to give Ryan some money to go off and make bean-to-bar chocolate. There has to be a purpose behind it, and it has to be sustainable. But I feel as chocolatiers, we actually I produce very little waste. If my kitchen's clean, my hands are clean, and my tools are clean, like any chocolate or cocoa butter that gets spilled can be kind of, cooled, set, scraped off, and then sort of repurposed and reused. One of the ideas I had was to make the cacao husk tea as a circular economy product, and that would enable me to turn something that would otherwise go to waste into something that could be sold with a nice sustainable story behind it. We purchase our beans from an organic and fair trade certified cooperative in Ghana. We'll then roast the beans in a beamore, which is a coffee roaster. We'll let the beans rest, and we'll grind them in a champion juicer, which crushes up the beans and the nibs and creates what we call a mix. After that, I'll spoon feed the mix into the winnower. That separates the nibs from the husks, and then the nibs will go into a refiner, and then the husks will be dried and then packaged and sold for tea. I was very happy to receive the kit, but it has made me think more holistically about sustainability. I'd always felt like, as a small business, a sole trader working out of my home kitchen, that sustainability was more for, big businesses. When I started doing the project fully, it wasn't just about the tea. I actually decided to go further than that. I packaged the tea in pouches that are made of at least 30% recycled material. And then I also labeled them with labels that are completely biodegradable as well. It's a nice story when you're going into a potential wholesale stockist. You can say, absolutely, this may not be the most aesthetic packaging, but it's a lot more sustainable than what you currently get. My customers' reactions when I took the tea and the bean-to-bar chocolate out to my Christmas markets was really, really positive. They sold out pretty quickly. Traders were interested, the general public were interested as well. And it was partly because it was something new and different, but also because there was a sustainability angle around it as well. I really believe that everyone wants to be more sustainable in their practices, and having a relatively cheap product like cacao husk tea enables them to feel a bit better about doing their bit. I certainly want to be more sustainable in my practices, and I've tried to work some of what I've learnt from the grants and the teachings from Growing Green into what I do. But it's very difficult to do that. I pretty much buy secondhand equipment all the time because I can't actually afford to buy it firsthand. But I feel that as I will grow, it will always sort of remain with me to be thinking about the sustainable nature of things.